So you want to get into the wonderful world of fish keeping. However, before you do this, there's plenty of knowledge you need to know. So today I'm going to be covering some of the most basic overviews you need to know. Fish keeping is broken up into 4 different sections. The first is freshwater tropical, which are common fish like angelfish, guppies, and betters. The second is freshwater cold water. These are fish like goldfish and axolotl. The third is marine cold, like clownfish and damsels. And lastly, there is marine tropical, such as tangs. For the average beginner, personally, I would recommend starting off with a freshwater setup, as it isn't as complex as a marine. And my favourite is tropical fish, as there is a plethora of knowledge in different species within it. Not to mention that freshwater fish tend to be more tolerant of the water in perfect conditions inside a beginner's aquarium. These poor conditions sometimes aren't caused on your behalf. As the fish swim, eat, and poop in the water, it does get a bit grotty, and the waste rots, causing a buildup of ammonia that becomes toxic to fish in high quantities. I recommend keeping a larger tank over a smaller one, as small tanks have smaller volumes of water, leading to fast-changing water parameters. Larger tanks tend to be more stable due to the fact that ammonia can easily spread out. Plus, having a larger tank allows for different fish species to happily be able to survive and thrive in your aquarium. Just ensure you have a sturdy tank and a level floor. Although you can, it's not recommended that you keep it in direct sunlight, as that causes rapid algae growth. And when you decide to set up your aquarium for any species of fish, the following items are essential in keeping your tank alive: a heated setter to your tank size, an aquarium thermometer, a filtration system, substrate of sand or gravel, fish food, nets, water conditioner, aquarium salts, and a water test kit, along with some aquarium plants. However, aquarium plants aren't necessary, they just provide many benefits to the water quality. The same goes for decor and rocks like wood. They don't have to be out there, but it just improves the whole thing. An air pump and air stone is also going to be a nifty tool. Generally, they aren't necessary, however, they do provide oxygen to the fish in the tank if needed. Generally, I have aquarium gravel slanted so that all the waste ends up in your vision at the front, allowing for a much easier water change. You can add decorations before or after adding water. Doesn't really matter. Now just be warned, because driftwood will float and produce tannins. This leads to a dark black water tank. This isn't necessarily a bad thing. Often this water carries many benefits to it. After a while it goes away and the wood sinks, as all the air pockets are filled with water. When it comes to using tap water, using water conditioner and water ager is essential, as it removes otherwise toxic chlorine and heavy metals that make up the water. Once the tank is filled, you need to set up your heater. Ensure you have the right temperature set for your aquatic life. Another great thing to keep in mind is never to turn the aquarium heater on when not in water, as it overheats and explodes. When adding plants before fish, leave them in there for 3 weeks until the root system grows. And even if you have no plant, you must ensure the tank cycles. This involves leaving waste in the aquarium to let beneficial bacteria that lives in your filter and substrate eat ammonia. I would say no less than 5 weeks for being your filter with no established media. Now the tank is being prepared, we can add fish to it. It's important to do your resets before getting any fish. My personal recommendation for a beginner is to have a community tank of around 150 litres of 40 gallons. That is enough to keep some solid and great hardy fish such as angelfish, corridors, and platies and bristlenose plecos. For more information about each of these fish, have a look at my channel or the pinned comment below this video. Although it may be tempting, never buy a fish from impulse, as the odds will have it sometimes your tank is too small, wrong temperature, or doesn't have compatible tank mates. Angelfish get around the size of an adult male's palm, and the majority of the rest of the fish I mentioned generally get no bigger than 3 inches. The way you also introduce fish aquariums to aquariums matters. The more dominant and aggressive fish should always be added last, and you should always acclimate them. This involves leaving them floating in the bag for at least 30 minutes. My golden rule when doing a water change is to perform a weekly water change of around 25% of water volume, or a 40% water change every 2 weeks if that suits you better. Always having a feeding plan is also going to benefit you. Between once or twice a day, nothing more or nothing less. And always feed them enough that they can consume in 2 minutes. Any uneaten food should be removed, and another great tip is to have shrimp. This only applies to smaller aquariums and ones that won't eat the shrimp. Shrimp are quite hardy and come in a variety of colours. If you want a cheaper price and some really cheap shrimps and plants, then please consider using my affiliate links to purchase all your aquarium needs. Or just use the code NEDSFishTips at checkout when shopping with Sydney Aquascapes and the Micro Aquatic Shop for up to 20% off all your purchases store-wide.